artists. Today we're going to do a lesson on perspective, and perspective has to do with how you see things. So sometimes we might see things one way and somebody else sees it something different. Well, I have here a book called Big Bug by Henry Cole, and I'm going to read it to you quickly. It's a very short book, but I want you to notice how things change. So we might start out thinking of something as big, and then it might change, and then it might change again. So notice how many times something changes, how you see it, and what you see out around it. Big Bug by Henry Cole. Big bug. That is a really big bug. Little bug, big leaf. Little leaf, big flower. Little flower, big dog. Little dog, big cow. Little cow, big farm. Little farm, big, big sky. Little tree. Big tree, little barn. Big barn, little house. Big house, little window. Big window, little dog. Big dog, little nap. Who do we see on the dog's nose? Is that our little ladybug that we saw in the very beginning, our big bug that we saw in the beginning? When it's on the dog's nose, it doesn't seem so big. So we are going to make our own big ladybug, and you're going to need some colored paper to create this project. Now, if you don't have all the colors of paper that you would like, you're going to be able to make some of your own paper. I made my own red paper. I had a blue, a green, a black, but I didn't have the red that I wanted. There's different ways. You could use crayon, you could use marker, you could use watercolor, but I chose crayon. I found some broken crayons that I had, and turning the broken crayon on its side, I just filled in the entire piece of paper side to side, top to bottom. And although I don't have a solid red, I have a really nice bright red, and I'll be able to make the ladybug using that red paper. For the circles, I'm going to turn the plate upside down and using a light colored pencil so that I can see it on the black. I'm going to hold my plate nice and tight, trace all the way around on the black. Then on the colored paper, I'm going to trace around on the back side of it. When I go to cut these out, what I tell my students in class is that the scissors are kind of like line-eating monsters. And your holding hand wants to be the feeding hand. So it's feeding that paper, that line, into the mouth of the scissors all the time. So my scissor hand doesn't ever move. My holding hand does all the moving of the paper so that it keeps feeding that line right into the mouth of the scissors. So you're going to cut the two big circles out first. Once you have both circles cut out, you're going to set the black one aside, and the red one you need to fold in half as smoothly and cleanly as you can, lining up the edges as best you can. Then you're going to cut your red circle in half. So right along that fold line, take your scissors and cut that straight down the middle. Once you have that cut, you can stack your big circles aside and put them aside, and you're going to be cutting out 3 small black circles. I'm going to be cutting all 3 of mine the same size using the small end of the bottom of the cup. If you want to make one a little bit larger, I've done it sometimes where the head of the butt of the ladybug is bigger than the spots that are on the back. So that's up to you. Put your cup right up in the corner of your black paper so that you can use as much of the paper as you possibly can. Put the cup, each circle as close to each other as you possibly can. You're trying to save as much of your paper as possible. I was able to fit all 3 of these circles onto the same little bit that I had left. If you can't, it's no big deal. Also, if you don't make a full 3rd circle, it's no big deal because you're going to be hiding some of your ladybug's head. So if you need to just make a part of a circle, that'll be okay. You can make that work. So once you've got those 3 drawn out, again, using your scissors, feeding those circles right into the mouth of the scissors, get all 3 of those circles cut out. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to lay everything out. So we're going to get all 3 circles cut out. The next thing we're going to be cutting out after this is our leaves. So I have a couple of different colors of green paper. You can use the same or you can use different. I've drawn my leaves to take up pretty much the length of the paper. So I've got one here that's a long, kind of skinny, dark green leaf. And then my other piece of green paper is a little bit brighter. I'm using pretty much the full width of the paper going all the way across, making sort of a leaf shape and getting those cut out. Once I have that done, now I'm going to assemble. So dot, dot, not a lot is a great rule on the glue, but 1 dot is not going to cover it. I like making sure that I cover any pencil lines or any little marks on my paper by putting the glue on that side. So I've got my leaves glued down. My black gets glued down on top of the leaves, and my leaves weren't really very big. I could have made them a little bit bigger. As I lay the red down on top of the black, I want to leave a little bit of the black showing because the ladybugs have a really nice hard outer shell, and then their black soft underbodies are under that. Then I'm tucking the head in underneath. I'll put the little dots on top, and that's going to complete my ladybug. It'll be up to you if you want your head to be a little bit bigger, like I've done here. Or if you want to add more highlights, like is shown in the book. Also, the book has many more little spots. Your ladybug is yours. You get to decide if you're going to add legs, highlights, extra dots. Have fun.